All right, we're live, guys.
Yay!
Yay.
Hello.
This is our team, part of our team. We're so excited to have part of the leadership team here today. You guys have been wondering who's behind this operation. So we decided to do some introductions. First of all, David, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Oh, hang on. Is there there's a bit of a lag
Hey
here.
guys.
So mhm. Go ahead. Maybe we should start with Jen. Should we start with Jen?
Hey.
Let's see. Go ahead, Jen. Jump in.
Awesome. Yes. Hi, I am Jen. I am the content manager here on the team behind the scenes, navigating the content world, making sure all of the good content gets posted, pushed out there, all the valuable stuff that Dylan teaches, trying to push that out to you guys and share. I'm also trying to connect all the channels on the back end. So we're not connected to Instagram yet. So I'm kind of playing two roles here at the moment, Dylan.
Multitasking. We'll come back to you then. And David, can you share your role and your background?
Sure. So I serve as the chief operating officer here, kind of the person behind the curtain, pulling all the knobs and levers that keeps our machine churning. Obviously, not without the help of everybody here and all the team members that are not here. Kind of set operational strategy, handle infrastructure, tech, legal, finance, pretty much everything under an ops umbrella falls underneath my purview at this point.
Awesome. And then Ryan, if anyone doesn't know Ryan, you haven't been around long enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys get to see me weekly and on my calls, but just for those of you that don't know or anyone out in the stratosphere watching right now. So I actually started on the same day that David did. So we're coming up on our 11 months here, September 2nd. As many of you know, I worked with Dylan many, many years ago in corporate retail. So that's our connection. But I am the director of customer success here at the company. So I help oversee your entire journey with us. So from the time that you sign up all the way through your entire time in coaching, including accountability calls, all of that, many other things though beyond, but those are the main things. So I'm a resource alongside Dylan for our students while they're in the program. So you will have my full support throughout your journey here.
Yes, and we have some really exciting announcements, but for anyone tuning in, if you have any Etsy questions, please put them in the chat so we can answer them for you. Now, maybe your questions are a little bit more geared towards content for Etsy. Jen is here. She's your resource. So ask those questions. Maybe it's about growing your Instagram, or what other channels you should be focused on. Maybe it's, should you do ads? Maybe you're trying to figure out what to sell, or if you even need guidance and you're wondering, what does one-on-one coaching look like? So all of those types of questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We are watching and we're happy to answer those questions. We also have some great announcements coming up. Maybe we should first talk about an exciting event that's coming up in October. And I'm going to put a link to it in the chat. But Jen, do you want to share a little bit about this?
Yeah, we are. I'm still struggling to get Instagram connected.
Okay.
Restream doesn't seem to want to push the key through. So we might be missing a few viewers, but we can update them when it does come through. However, yes, the very exciting event is going to be the Ultimate Etsy Summit happening live in Orlando, Florida. We all get to fly out and meet you all, everyone that's coming and attending in person, interact with you, and share some of our knowledge along with a lineup of amazing speakers that we have coming in with two probably very, very packed days. Ryan and I keep looking at the schedule, wondering how we're going to fit it all in there, but we'll get it. We will get it because we want to give you guys as much value as possible. But yes, that will be happening live in Orlando. All of us will be there to share and meet and greet and have an amazing experience. And on top of that, there is a VIP opportunity to come spend the evening with us. We're almost like, what's the TV show?
Real world.
Real world.
Real world. Yeah. We're staying real world style as a team in this beautiful home, and the VIP party will be there with us at the home. So it is proving, I think it's going to be quite an event.
Yes. Yeah. And we're going to have speakers and coaches from in our company and outside of the company. So I went ahead and I put the link to the event in the chat. So definitely, if you're interested in seeing the lineup and seeing the dates and the location and everything, it's in Orlando. It's right by the airport, super convenient, which was the goal. And it's perfect just in time for ramping up in Q4. So our goal is for you to walk away from this event with a full game plan so you know really what to do between now and the end of the year, and then also how do you kick off a strong 2025.
Yeah, and this is open. I think we might have said this, but in case we didn't, this is open to anyone. You do not have to be a current student, you guys. So unlike our first event, this is open to anybody. We still have spaces available, and I checked this morning, and our room block, there are still king rooms available. So if you want the convenience factor of staying at the venue, there are still some rooms available, king rooms. If not, there's plenty of other hotels close by. There's actually a ton near. It's a great location, super convenient, as Dylan mentioned. You wouldn't even need a rental car. You could fly in, fly out. But yeah, we're really excited about 2 jam-packed days. You'll see me there as the MC, so you'll get to hear my voice tons. Don't worry. But I will keep us on schedule. Dylan knows this. I'll have us like very regimented, making sure that we get through all of our segments and answer everyone's questions and everything runs smoothly. So we're super, super excited about it.
Awesome. I see a couple quick questions in the chat, so keep them coming. Someone just asked, they want to sell digital and print on demand. How can you combine them? Should you do it random? Definitely feel free to combine those. Just make sure you're targeting the same customer, right? So make sure it's very similar customers or the same customer. Someone asked, you're good in jewelry, message card designing, and you sold a lot. Can you just focus on that product only and scale up? You can, but you'll leave a lot of money on the table. So you want to think, how can you serve that customer in as many ways as possible for at least 4 to 7 years? How many different types of jewelry cards are they designing or are they buying? How often are they purchasing those? And how can you serve them in many more ways? So you'll really hurt the lifetime value of your customer if you only focus on that product. You can. You're just leaving money on the table. Cool. What about the other announcement, something releasing in the next few weeks? David, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So it's been alluded to a few times. I know you guys have talked about it a little bit on your streams, but we've been tinkering in the background, building what we think is going to be some revolutionary software in the Etsy space, specifically for Etsy sellers. We hold a ton of our students, the Etsy community at large, and kind of came up with a large problem that everybody seems to have, and that is around creating optimized listings. Whether you're starting out on Etsy, whether you're a successful Etsy seller and have hundreds, if not thousands of listings, listing management and creation is quite an undertaking. I did not know that myself. I learned that at our first meetup in Las Vegas by talking to some of our top clients and students in our program. The consensus is that it can take anywhere from 3 hours to some people spend a week tinkering and playing with their single listing. So we decided that we could harness the power of technology, utilize some of the proprietary formulas and techniques and strategies that we teach in the course, and programmatically turn it into a piece of SaaS, piece of software. So it is called etSEO, kind of a play on Etsy SEO. For those of you that kind of want the nomenclature, just put out there. That's the play on the words there, and we're looking forward to getting it out in the marketplace. We're doing a ton of testing. There is a wait list. If you guys go to etSEO.com, it actually redirects to the wait list in the chat now. If you guys want to just click on that, sign up. We are doing a couple of things for people that are on the wait list. There's going to be a Kickstarter launched pretty soon as well. So some special deals, obviously, on those of you guys that get in first. Super excited to be spearheading that project. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing what it does in the marketplace. And hopefully it helps tens of thousands of you, if not more, in the Etsy space. I think it has the real potential to be a game changer for your workflow. And if any of you are big on streamlining your productivity and getting back your time, this is going to be a tool to do that.
Awesome. Yeah. Because when you think about it, what are your options right now for SEO? There's tons of tools out there, keyword research tools, where data doesn't come directly from Etsy, right? It's third-party data providers. So all of the information's mismatching and you're like, what do I trust? Or you have some randos reaching out to you on Facebook saying, let me optimize your listings. And you're like trying to decide if you want to pay them $1,000 to update your shop with a very unknown quantity as the outcome. So it really does teach you the structure of SEO for your listings, and it will save you a ton of time. And it's something where you could do it yourself. You don't have to rely on someone from Fiverr or, hold your breath and hope that that random person from Facebook who reached out knows what they're doing. So now you will actually know what you're doing. Cool. So definitely join the waitlist, you guys. We are going to have a really special deal on Kickstarter when it's released.
Yeah, and the other thing that's nice that Dylan kind of mentioned is some of the other companies that people are using are more expensive as well. Mm-hmm. And so the bang for the buck's really going to be here, you guys. You're going to get more listings created instead of spending so much on every single one for the other services that you're using. We've asked some of our students and audience members, and they've talked about how it's just not cost effective. So our goal is to also provide a good cost effective option for you in addition to the software itself. So
awesome. I see someone asked, you have 35 listings. You don't feel confident in the mockups you're using. Should you focus on getting nice photos for the listings or focus on putting up many new listings? I will say, if you have 10 bad listings or 1,000 bad listings, it doesn't really make a difference in how much money you're going to make. I would stop right now. Do not put up more new listings. Quality over quantity is key. We actually have one print-on-demand seller with less than 30 listings. She can make over $20,000 a month with those. So for anyone who's told you, just put up 1,000 listings and that's what you need to get sales, don't, because doing 10 times more of the wrong thing won't suddenly make it right. Okay, so just pump the brakes and let's fix what you have on your plate right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, I thought it'd be kind of interesting to talk a little bit about the team, you guys, because I don't know if people realize that there is a team behind this and what the team is about. Jen, could you kind of share how you would describe our team?
It's a lot bigger than I thought when I first started having a conversation about joining the team. That was my biggest thing. I didn't realize how many amazing people were actually here doing so much work in the background to keep this all running so smoothly. Dylan, you show up and you make it look effortless, and there's so many of us here, and being, a somewhat newer player on the team, it has been absolutely amazing to see how everyone really pulls together and is so focused on the mission of our students and making sure our students are having the most success that they can possibly have. And then reaching, my goal is reaching more potential students. How can I get out there and start that conversation with them and provide that front end value and education? But even the team in the back, even the sales team and the coaches, things like that, like they contribute. In Slack, we're all having conversations, cross-departmental. How can we better serve? How can we show up? How can we try something different? And then also talking about the feedback that we get from you guys and how we can take that, come together as a team and come out stronger. So it's actually really cool to see how many people there are here, but it feels so small and so intimate, and that everybody's just here to pull together and be here to promote the students. That's what we're doing. That's our success is their success. And it's cool to see everybody with that mission.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, before we had the team, our coaching style was very different. It was a public community group where you were posting your questions publicly and people were responding publicly. Like I was responding publicly to your questions. Now we've completely transformed to a new platform. David, I'd love for you to share a little bit about how the student experience has transformed coming onto the new platform, being so one-on-one.
Sure. So any of you that are in the info space or have bought courses, tons of platforms that exist out there. We were on a platform called Kajabi, well known in this space. There was a lot to be desired with the platform from an operational standpoint. So we ended up making the decision to migrate into a platform called Circle, and much better. I just think overall the experience on that platform for students and users is probably much more seamless. It offers us a much better way to engage with our client base overall. The user experience that these guys have created pretty much transcends through what we do for our students. And if you are in the program right now, you'll know that you guys get pretty much private coaching directly one-on-one. There isn't a public forum, so to speak, for that aspect of our operation. We thought that was crucial and integral to kind of level up the business, just because, when you're on a public forum is no better than a Reddit, for example. Sure, hidden behind a paywall, but everybody is in everybody's business. And when you are engaging with a coach, there may be sensitive information that you don't want to share with the general public. So this pretty much resolved that issue very, very quickly for our student base. And it provides a much more intimate, I guess, an intimate relationship between us, the business, the coaching aspect of our company, and you, the student and client. And then there are a bunch of technological advancements with that platform as well. I just think the course hosting is better, the communities themselves, the groups that we have set up inside the platform as well. If you're in a coaching group in particular, it's just a well-rounded experience, I think. And if anybody is into, again, buying courses, there is a potential gamification aspect that we may roll out at some point. Circle is a great software tech company. They just rolled out 3.0 of the platform, which you're probably seeing some UI updates now on your end. How we're going to integrate gamification, not sure. Something we need to talk about as a team, but I know that is a big component in online learning right now. So we definitely want to kind of hop on that train and get something out there for you guys. So, not that we want people competing, but friendly competition is a good thing, I think, at least in this space. So we're looking forward to kind of launching that, and I hope everybody's enjoying the experience thus far. Have had minimal technical hiccups, glitches, so I think that's a really good sign with all of the people that we have in our program. It's pretty amazing, to be honest.
Yeah. And Jahraus in the comments, she just said the private one-on-one coaching is what I would call the most foundational step to growing in your business, because it's one thing to buy a course and then you're like, okay, well, I hope I'm applying this okay. And maybe you're a little unsure, or you feel a little bit imposter syndrome, like, am I doing this right? Having that unlimited one-on-one guidance, that is really what makes this difference. We tried to build this so that failure was not an option. So our coaches are in there 24/7. We have a night crew who goes in there. We have people in Europe, Australia, coaches all over the world, so that it is really around the clock support. And then you get 4 coaching calls a week, which is all in the platform. So you're not trying to figure out where the Zoom link is and hopefully you'll get a question answered. But these calls are styled where you don't even have to be there to get your questions answered. And just that level of support, we had never seen anything like that in any other type of course or program, even in other industries. So we built this to be like the 4 seasons experience.
Yep.
Ryan, can you share maybe a story about a student that you have seen really grow with that level of guidance?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the going into the new platform, one of the things that I love the most is about the more hands-on that they get, right? And so not only did we expand the experience, we also expanded the team. So we have 12 coaches now. I think when I started, we had less than half of that. So, and we also increased the coaching calls. So just to echo all those points, I think that's one of the most important things. And before I get into a specific story, one of the things that I think is most important as well is that a lot of what we do in the coaching specifically and in the student value component is straight from requests that we receive from students. So we send quarterly surveys, if you guys aren't aware, where we ask specifically what they want to see more of, right? So we're making decisions methodically. We're not just guessing what our students want, we're asking them. And then we make those changes to suffice what they would like to see more of, or have additional topics on, or whatever. For example, our weekend calls, Dylan mentioned we do 4 a week. Those are specific, right? So those are topics directly from our students' requests, right? So we try to cover as many and all of those. And I think that's what's really enabled us to have an even better experience for our students and to have more of those success stories. But as far as, yeah, specific person, I mean, we have so many, so, picking one individually is really hard. But one thing that I do love to do is help people when they're having challenges. And so we've had a couple of people that, they, were implementing and then nothing was happening and so on and so forth. And then, they join my accountability calls and I simply recommend them to go back through and just re-look at their shops, right? Like take a look at their shops again and, go back to the drawing board. Like we mentioned Anna earlier, who is, one of our success stories, attended the Vegas event, and we'll see her in Orlando. She didn't do anything mind-blowing, you guys. She went back and she reworked some of the modules and then she was successful. Also have people that have tech issues with their site that I love helping get figured out for them, right? So that way they can continue on their successful journey. So, the areas of success are so vast, right? It just depends on the person. But yeah, that would be what I would say there.
Yeah, yeah, and the benefit of having multiple coaches is really getting a variety of perspectives and ideas, and you have different areas of expertise, so different subject matter experts in all these different areas. Yadira, I just see she's on our program. She said, I agree with Sierra. I started to take more advantage of the one-on-one, which helped me correct and update my listings with the coach's feedback and recommendations. And you guys, we need you to be successful. That's why people want to join our program, is because of the results and the testimonials. If you're watching on YouTube, go click on the community tab. You'll see every night before I fall asleep. It's like clockwork, right when I go to bed, because my head's on my pillow when I'm doing this, okay? I'm putting up these testimonials, you guys. It's like the last thing I see and think of before I go to sleep. And it's just such the perfect end to the day. But it's also that moment where I'm just like, gosh, I'm so proud of these people putting in the work. And Jen, you have had a really interesting interaction with both students and non-students on social media. Can you share a little bit about what types of things you're seeing? Do you think this is a good time to get on Etsy? What do you
Yeah, I think, I do quite a bit of research before I create the content or post the content to see, what kind of questions potential students are having so that we can create content around that. Definitely when I'm on other platforms and other forums and, different Facebook groups, things like that, looking at what kind of questions people are asking, I do see that a lot. People saying, isn't it saturated? Isn't it too late? Did I miss the boat? Right? They kind of feel like maybe everybody's already there that's going to have success and there's no more room at the top. And I think that could be farther from the truth. Dylan, you could probably speak to this much better than I can, but you are always an advocate of when you set up your shop correctly and you attract the right customer, you speak and sell to the right customer, and have that product mix that you talk so that's so valuable. It just blows my mind, even after learning about it and joining the team, is how you set up the Etsy shops is so different than anything I have seen, anyone talking about on any sort of Facebook groups or YouTube channels, content that's being put out there. And it just fundamentally makes so much sense as a business model rather than just, I'm going to make a little craft and put it up there. But no, this is like really how you can turn this into a real business. And when you take that and then try to answer that question, is it saturated? Is there too many people? Absolutely not, because it's so limitless what you can create and how you can show up and what you can provide for people when you do it that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that, Jen, because this is a business model we're teaching.
Yeah.
It's not tips and hacks and tricks
Yes,
and
100%.
try this it'll blow up your shop. Like, it's not one thing either. It is not one trick that's going to do it. It is a culmination of dozens of things, probably closer to 100 things that will come together and do this for you. Now, and it's hard work. It's not a get rich quick scheme. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, every one of those testimonials we share, those people are really working hard. But doing it on your own, that's hard, and you don't see results. So you might as well do something hard where you would see results. I see someone in the comments, little piece of my planner said, I joined the course in March and I've had the best August yet, and I haven't even finished the course. That's amazing. That's amazing. Someone else asked, how much is it? How much is the course? So you guys, we put together custom packages for you. Everyone has a different level of need for the support they're looking for. So some people, they need a weekly one-on-one call. Some people need a monthly one-on-one call. Some people, we are training their team members. Some people just want group calls every week. Some people need 2 years of support. Some people need 1 year of support or even less. So it is fully customized for whatever you need. If you have a tight budget, we're used to that because a lot of our sellers, I would say about 15% don't have shops when they come in. You're not making money with your business yet. It's hard to invest in it, right? So we have options that make it easy. Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about, what should we talk about, Ryan? What have we missed?
See, we covered the summit at CO. We can talk a little bit about like our success rate and some of the additional things we've added to the program lately.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's great.
So going back to surveys, you guys, and Jen echoed this, your success is our success. So we do take that very seriously. So that's why we survey frequently, right? Because we want to know how everyone's feeling, what successes are they seeing, what challenges are they seeing, all of that. But super excited to let everyone know that we actually have a consistent 92 to 93% success rate, right? And you may say, well, what does that mean? And how does that help me? Well, basically that means that percentage of the people that are completing our survey are happy with the program. They're seeing results. They find it easily navigatable and they're enjoying it, right? Which is a very high percentage, right? So that is a really great sign. They're putting the work in and they're happy with what they're seeing and they're enjoying it. So similar to little piece of my planner, several people come in and they start to see results right away. Some people, it may take them a little bit longer, right? Everyone's journey is different. Just like Dylan said, everyone's sign up is different. Everybody's situation is different to their specific business. So, but if you're working the program, following the program and utilizing everything you have available to you, then you're going to be on your way to those successes. Now, in addition to that, we love to constantly be adding additional value, right? So coaching calls, for example, in the past 6 to 8 months, we've doubled those, right? So the 4 per week that Dylan mentioned, one of them is with her, right? So you're getting that time with, Dylan herself, which is so amazing and impactful. We also launched a guest speaker series where we bring in outside speakers. So not just at our summits, we also are bringing them in for all of our students. So, regardless of what your membership in the program is, and these are all external speakers that have areas of expertise. For example, we had one about packaging last week that the students really loved. And then we have one coming up after Labor Day that's all about scaling your Etsy systems. We have an attorney coming in October to help with all the legal questions that you would have with running an e-commerce business, right? Which is very important. There's a lot of things that you want to make sure you're doing, correctly, right? So I think people have really enjoyed those. And we post all the call recordings, you guys. That's something else that we haven't mentioned. And I don't really know of a lot of programs that do that and give that access to every single student, right? Regardless of their membership. So there's hundreds of hours at your fingertips of coaching calls, lives with Dylan and I, where we talk about positive mindsets and tips and tricks of running a successful Etsy business, speakers, like anything that we broadcast live in the program is available for everybody. So really, really exciting. And then this Thursday, Dylan's actually doing a awesome kind of co-working session call. I've done this at other companies and I think they're super fun and impactful. And it'll be an opportunity for our students to actually get on a Zoom with Dylan and kind of work in tandem, right? With her there in the background. And sometimes just having your mentor and leader there while you work is so motivating, right? So it's an opportunity for everybody to devote that time of their day, hold themselves accountable, make those implementations, work on your listings, whatever it may be, with a lot of your additional peers there too, and just kind of support each other and take that time to be heads down, focused, and work on your shops. So we're really excited to see how that goes as well. But yeah, I think just to sum up, I mean, we're constantly looking at how we can pivot and shake. You know, David talked about, we moved programs in December because we wanted to bring a more user-friendly option, right? And more private coaching alternatives. And then now we are continually expanding what we're offering inside the program, right? You know, we launched our new course a few months ago, took a lot of feedback from students. In that course, Dylan really specifically focused on asks and requests that we got from our students. And we also reduced the links of videos so people have fast, impactful information. So you name it, you guys, if our students request it, we make it happen. And we're here to just continually stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, we are very much an open door. We love, hearing from people who aren't in the program as well. If you have any questions, you can always email team@dylanjahraus.com, and all 4 of us have access to that email, whether we like it or not.
We love it, Dylan. We love it. Especially Ryan.
I've silenced the notifications for that email. That's because it's a heavy inbox. It's a lot coming through. But that is the best email to reach out, because everyone in the company actually has access to that. So feel free to send any questions to us. We are an open door. Love to chat. And if you would prefer chatting in person too, we have free calls available. We have an entire team who takes calls, our account managers, and I can put a link just to have a free call with us. This call, there is no obligation. It's totally free, and we can just chat with you about your shop, where you're at with it, what your goals are for the end of the year here. Maybe you're looking ahead at Q4. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss this opportunity. You're like, you heard about the amazing Q4, but you feel like your shop's not quite ready. Or maybe you're thinking, by the end of the year, I want to quit my job, or next year, I'm going to start working for myself. And you want that plan. We can just show you what the plan looks like, and you can see if it aligns with what you're looking for. So we'll show you what the plan looks like. You can see the one-on-one coaching. We'll show you examples. You can see the students, all their results, financial results. And it's just helpful to have the visibility before you decide.
Yeah. Couple questions we can wrap up with, which I think are good closers here. I did want to say, Little Piece of Planner loves the guest speaker series. That's awesome. We're so glad to hear it. You implemented the email strategy. That's amazing. That was another topic that we did. You guys will also have someone speaking about that in Orlando, which is super exciting. But I think JJ Flix's question is a really good send-off question. Don't you, Dylan, if you want to grab that?
Yes. Let me put this up on the screen. Let's see how this looks. Oh, no, there went David.
Oh, hi, David.
Okay. Out of all the knowledge you have from Etsy, what would you say is the most important thing for starting a new store? I would say, this is tricky, but I would say after starting several businesses, not just Etsy, but after starting several businesses, having some information to do something right the first time will save you so much time, and there's a big opportunity cost associated with that time. So making money sooner, right? Learning faster, getting customer feedback faster, that is hugely valuable, whether that's from us or someone else. But having someone who you can actually talk to is key, because you could do the YouTube University. Most people do that for their whole lives and never get anywhere. So just having someone you can talk to, whether it's us or someone else, get someone if you're serious about this. If you're not serious about it, sure, like whatever, just give it a shot, and don't feel bad for if your time gets wasted. But if you're serious, talk to someone. And then starting with your customer is so important versus starting with a product. Do not just put things up that are cute, whether that's like, it might be a really strong impulse to do that. Do not do that. Start with who you want to sell to, because if your customer doesn't have consistent spending habits, you don't have a business. So customer first. If you don't know how to start that way, because it's not intuitive for most people, then talk to someone who knows how to do that, whether it's us or someone else.
Yeah, I think that's one of
Can
the
I
biggest.
add to that really quick? Just
Yes.
a funny, how I met Dylan and found Dylan was a few years ago. I was in the YouTube University and clearly binging a lot of Dylan's content, but also hearing all of the other videos and information out there and copying bestsellers, copy pasting, tweaking just like one keyword here and there. I was doing all the things. And Dylan, I don't think I've even told you this, but at that time, like I had started a print on demand store. I think it's still there. And it's like hundreds of listings that I just randomly created on Canva. I'm not a designer, like nothing sold, obviously. But yes, save yourself that time and that headache. And I never ended up going with it. It was like a side little thing for me just for fun. But clearly, and then when I saw this opportunity to join Team Dylan, that was the start of my message. I was like, hey, Dylan, we chatted a couple years ago.
I remember that, but how perfect, right? Like,
Yeah.
And that's why, I knew, okay, she gets it. She's gonna be so good. So
I've been where a lot of the new students that come in, I've been where you've been.
yeah. That's great. Yeah, a true testimony here.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you guys have any questions for our leadership team, send those over. We will get them to the right people. Just send them in the email and then schedule a free call if you'd like to chat with our team about your shop and how we could help you. And then if you want us to come back, if you want them to all come back, please leave a comment begging and pleading for them to come back. Because the first time, we can convince them the first time, but we want them to feel really welcome and really invited back, please. Awesome, guys. I'll see you soon.